And we are back on BuildFace TV. I'm your host, Mr. Ben, and on today's episode, I'm actually in my local game store, Geek City Games and Comics, here in North Liberty, Iowa, and I'm joined by Jason, the owner of my local game store. And what we are going to do today is talk about a holiday buyer's guide of games that will be of interest to people of all different skill levels. And this is particularly fortuitous because we have a great sale going on at Geek City right now.
Yeah, it's a pretty good sale right now. We got through this Sunday, 15% off everything in the store except for our used board games, which they're customer owned, and then
And they're
cards.
kind of discounted anyway, generally.
Yeah, usually they're discounted. Like, I think I picked up a copy of Seven Wonders for $15 last year.
Yeah, I've had my eye on the Upper Deck Crow game for a while, and just
Yeah.
haven't pulled the trigger yet.
I don't think you can get that very many places right now.
I know,
so
that's why
it's got some of the old games.
I need to do it, yeah.
Hero Quest was in there not too long ago. It sells out pretty quick, though.
Okay, but referring to games that we do have this discount on, we're going to start with some family-friendly games. So these would be games that will be able to be pick-upable and playable by people who maybe aren't the most hardcore board game audience. So what do you got for us, Jason?
Let's start off with Love Letter. This is a great game. Maybe if you got just a few people over for the holidays, it plays in 10 to 15-minute rounds. It can be put in this little bag, so if you're traveling, even if you're on an airplane, it's good to go. It's just a great little card game where you're just trying to be the last person with a card. It's really well done. You just have to be able to do a little bit of reading. So anybody, probably 5th grade and up, 4th grade, 3rd grade. Well, I don't know when kids start reading right now. Well, my kids are older,
and the pictures are distinct enough. Even if you're pre-reading level, if you memorize what the cards do, you could play this with pretty young kids.
And it's been an all-time hit of the ages. So I definitely recommend that. We've got Welcome To. I put Welcome To out. It's considered what we'd call a roll and write, but everybody's taking their turn at the same time. You can play all the way from 1 to 100 people on this, so it's great if you got a ton of people over at your family. You're able to explain to them a nice little strategy game. There is a YouTube video out on it. It's not too complex. Everybody's taking their turn at the exact same time and writing down and making a neighborhood on their little pad. Whoever has the most victory points at the end wins. It's super fun. We've played tons of games with this at Origins. But you can play up to 100 people, or let's say, sorry about the glare, but if you got, I don't know, just a Zoom Thanksgiving or a Zoom Christmas,
or if you just need a break from everybody and enjoy solo games like I do.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. It's a great game for that. Just won. It won a bunch of awards last year.
Spiel de Jaris right now.
Yeah, I won Spiel. It won Game of the Year. It's a great guessing game. It's a great little party game. It's family friendly. If you're looking for that, it's not Cards Against Humanity. It's not apples to apples, but another great, just keeps everybody involved little party game.
Does it fit into that kind of genre where the rules are a little loosey-goosey?
They're real loose, and it's just everybody's having fun, drinking some beers, having some beverages or whatever.
Yeah, which is nice over the holidays.
Or hot cocoa or cider.
Sometimes those rules discussions can interfere with everybody's good time.
So this is just one of those party games. So it's really great. If you want to do, this is a new one by Ravensburg this year. It's the Taco Bell game. You're just kind of making your own little best Taco Bell. It's closely comparable to, what is that, Exploding Kittens game. So if you got a little card game you want to play, a little fun game. I can't even remember how many people this one goes up to, but it goes from 2 to 6 people. So
clearly a gimmick. Like the Taco Bell thing is clearly a gimmick. There's actually a game in that box.
There's an actual game. It's great. One of my all-time favorites that I would take to the table because it hits me as a gamer for strategy, but it's also super easy to teach people, and there's gambling involved. You're racing camels. So it's like you're at the dog track, but this is a camel track, and the camels are racing around, and you're just betting on the camels. Like, nobody moves the camels. Nobody has a color. You're betting on who's going to win. 4 to 8 people. You do need to, well, it goes 3 to 8, but I recommend 4 to 8. It's just great. Keeps everybody occupied because everybody's bidding at the same time. But maybe you got a gamer in the family, and then you got like 4 or 5 non-gamers. This is a great game to pick up because it kind of fits all that.
There's something for the person who really likes to dig in.
Yep.
I'm a fan of the 30-minute time limit printed there on the side. Like long, sprawling games, particularly when everybody's had a few drinks. Sometimes the tail
or
end
maybe
of those
too
turns,
much turkey, and they just want to take
turkey.
They just want to take a nap. I put a cooperative game in here. This is just a mystery game where you're trying to figure out one person's kind of the ghost and everybody else is trying to solve things, but the ghost can't talk to you. So it's
Would
an
this
abstract.
be another one that you could
Dixit.
play over Zoom?
You could play this over Zoom as long as you could see the cards and stuff.
Sure.
So you could. It'd be easier in person on this one for sure.
Everything's more fun in person.
Yeah.
But
this
some
is
of
the
us don't
wider
have.
version. They had a bigger version called Mysterium out, but this is more of a family packed. Everybody's kind of on the same team trying to win together, so everybody's helping each other out.
What kind of age range does that hit for?
This one's going to be probably 10 plus, just a little bit more strategy in it. So this is more for the, you got Friendsgiving or something like that.
Sure.
So you got that.
Or older kids.
Older kids. This one, this is a hit. I have donated this thing to 2 or 3 schools now, and I just sell. Once the kids play this, they go home, they tell their parents, they come back, they pick up many copies. Lots of grandparents have bought it to play at their house instead of playing the normal like Chinese checkers or Monopoly. You got point salad. Point salad, you got different salad point cards, and then you get your different salad ingredients. All you're doing is set collecting and scoring. It goes 2 to 6 people. It runs about 30 minutes. It's just a great little game in a box. If you didn't want this entire box, it would easily fit in a little card thing, kind of like Love Letter. You could take it with you on a trip. Everybody that ever plays it, it's kind of a gateway game, so maybe you're into gaming.
Well, there's a little bit of a wink to us experienced gamers in that point salad is kind of a term that we use to describe a genre, and this is clearly as on the nose. You're making point salad using
so as somebody
salad.
that loves games, I'll play this game a lot. Somebody that doesn't know games, they play it a lot. Kids really enjoy it. My kids keep beating me at it. I guess I could put it back here. I got Red Dragon in 2, but you can get any of the Red Dragons because they're kind of standalone. They come with 4 decks. This can go up to as many people as you really can fit around a table, and as many boxes you have. You just got to have enough characters. There's only 4 characters in each box.
Now, is this a cooperative?
No, this is
PvP,
This is totally against each other. You're adventurers. You just got back from your big adventure. You're sitting at the tavern, and you're having a few beverages, and you're gambling. So if your alcohol level ever equals your fortitude level, because you take damage in this game, you lose some fortitude for doing dumb things, or if you're ever out of money, you just lose and you're out. But it goes really quick. We play this a lot in groups when we get the groups together.
So this is like what your D&D characters are doing in between the campaigns?
In between the campaigns, and each character has their own deck of cards, and it's fun. And then there's different complexities of drink decks is what they call, because you're taking different drinks.
So this is maybe a little bit older of an age range.
Yeah.
Like again, a Friendsgiving kind of thing.
Yeah, Friendsgiving, but I would let my 13-year-old play it.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a great game.
So content-wise, it's not mature, but maybe middle school.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you're having a bunch of people over. You need that strategy game because you got the people. I'm going to go back to the old classic Seven Wonders. This is the 2nd edition. It helps with keeping your tableau right and your color blindness all good because they've redone the cards so that even colorblind.
For the hardcore audience, a tableau is when you're building a bunch of cards kind of in front of you in your own play space. That's another one of those inside baseball board game terms.
Yeah. So I always forget. But this plays great from about 3 players all the way up to 7 players. You definitely need to play 3 players or more. Everybody's taking their turn at the same time. You're passing cards. It's a little bit more strategy than the rest of the games, but it's great at family time when you got a gathering together and you just want that extra game. You're building up your civilization, your 7 wonders. It is just a fantastic game. It's won more awards than most of the games that I've shown here. But
it says it on the sticker right there. The world's most awarded.
Yeah, it is such a great game. I always recommend it to go out there. So
thus far, these games have all kind of fallen into the bucket of family-friendly games that are playable and attractive to what I call normal people, like non-hardcore board game crowd.
Yep. And
so we're going to
really
amp up a little bit
really tailored at a group of people over at your house.
Sure.
Like,
party games.
Yeah, more of a party type style where you've got a group of people.
So these are going to be just a little bit more of a step up in terms of complexity.
But they're still family friendly. These are still family friendly. Usually 4 players max on these.
Okay.
But they're great games for just the family to get together, get out of that old normal Risk or Monopoly.
Less of a party game,
Yeah.
but still something you could do with your family over the holidays.
Yep. I grabbed Pandemic Hot Zone. This is a smaller box. I grabbed their Europe version. I grabbed this because it's a lot simpler than the normal Pandemic. It's easier to get in. It's a cooperative game. Everybody's on the same team trying to fix the pandemic. You guys are all playing different roles, and there's a pandemic out, and you're trying to cure it before the whole world goes up in flames, or in this case, Europe. It plays 2 to 4 people.
Bummer of a topic right now.
Yeah.
But yes, a great game.
You know what, though? It's been the hottest seller during the COVID. People really wanted to play
more pandemic during COVID than any year before.
It's got an actual pandemic. It's great.
And
it's cooperative.
This is not an expansion. This is a standalone pandemic in this compact form.
And it's a lot simpler, a lot less complex.
Okay.
If you want to move people up to more complex, get the normal pandemic, more rules, it's going to be much harder. You're probably going to lose more often.
Yeah.
This one is designed that you're probably going to win 50% of the time. A lot easier, gets the whole family into it, and gets them used to a cooperative type setting. Another one of my favorites. This is what you call a press your luck game, because you're just pressing your luck. It's Quacks. It's won a ton of awards. I think it won Spiel even. I can't remember.
Looking to see if it's on the box anywhere.
It's probably not. It came out of Germany, super hot, during Spiel a couple of years ago. It has been just a fantastic game. It's super hard for us to keep this one in stock. So this is not something you're going to be able to find easily at like a Target or anything else.
The theme is that you're mixing potions together, right?
So you got a potion bag, and you're just trying to go around this circle and grab out of the potion bag without getting too many whammies. Like no whammy, no whammy, no whammy. There's a whammy potion, but yeah, that just ages me. You're just trying to grab it and go around with your numbers as far as you can to get as much resources and stuff for the next turn. So for the gamer, there's that strategy. For kids, kids love press your luck games. The kid at heart loves them, and then there's just this little mechanics going on. It's just a fabulously built game. It's not too hard. It's right there at the lower medium level of gameplay. It's a great family game because you can start introducing them to some new strategies, but also you've got that press your luck. So if they get behind, they can go all in. Yeah. They can go and get all the whammies and try for it at least. So it's got catch-up mechanics. So put that behind us. It is Harry Potter week, I do believe. So
is it?
Yeah, or
I
month
didn't know that
or
was
something.
A thing.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Okay.
I've been watching it on the news.
Happy Harry Potter week?
Yeah, I don't know. It's on HBO Max or something. I think they have all the Harry Potter movies, but this is the Harry Potter cooperative deck building game. So it's another deck building. Well, it's another cooperative game, but this is a family-friendly cooperative game set in the Harry Potter film universe with all the film characters. You're actually playing through basically movie 1 and a little bit of 2, I do believe, in this box.
And are the villains controlled by like a villain deck? Is that?
I can't remember. I haven't played it much. I'm not a big cooperative person.
Sure.
I like to crush the soul.
Yes, I also like competitive a little bit more.
The competitive a little bit more. But we have sold so many copies of this. It's well put together. They were just doing, it was featured on our family game ideas night. They just did demos of it last night. A bunch of people that came in and played, picked it up. Everybody really seems to enjoy it. It's a deck builder, so you got a hand of cards, and you're playing your cards all out on your turn, and you're cooperatively trying to take care of the scenario, just doing the best you can as like Hermione? Yeah. Harry or Wesley. I always say it wrong too.
Hermione.
I don't know. We're gonna have to talk to.
It seems
Emma
like
Watson
that would be
what her character name is.
a whole evening that you could plan around.
Yeah.
That, hey, we're gonna eat our turkey. We're gonna watch the first Harry Potter movie. Then we're gonna play this game, and we're gonna live the first Harry Potter movie.
It's almost like a legacy game, whereas you play the first scenario. Next week you play the next scenario.
Oh, so there's multiple movies in the one box?
Well, no, it's the same movie, but it's just progressing through the movie.
Oh,
so it's
broken
like
down. Okay.
Bite-sized pieces.
Kind of like that new Goonies game where you play through and you do it a little bit at a time. I like that.
And then there's expansions for the next movies and stuff over on the shelf. But this is the starter. It's great family fun. King of Tokyo. Kids love King of Tokyo.
Kids and adults.
And adults. Kids at heart. He runs our King of Tokyo tournaments. He does a fabulous job.
Arguably one of the best games to hook people who aren't already board game people and draw them into the world.
It's
like,
got
who
that-
doesn't want to be a big monster?
And it's got that press your luck mechanic.
Yep.
Very little reading, so kids can get into it very easy at a young age.
When
Even
my
though
kids-
it says 8+, you can easily get a 4-year-old into this
Even
game.
before my kids could read, we just didn't play with the power-up cards. We took one mechanic out of the game and just threw the dice, and they still had fun moving the monsters in and out of Tokyo.
Oh yeah, you're playing these big giant
It
monsters.
says
You're
a limit
attacking
of
each
6
other.
players. I've played it up to 10, which is not the most fun, but you know, if there's a bunch of kids that want to play, this could keep an entire group of kids occupied for 45 minutes while the adults get a little bit of peace and quiet during
Yeah.
Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever holidays
Super
you
great
celebrate.
game. A little bit worried that it's going to be hard to find after this Christmas season. So, if you didn't hear, Yellow has pulled out of their North American distribution completely, shut down their North American distribution.
Oh my goodness.
So they've only got distribution in Europe as of right now. I don't know what they're going to pick up, but we've got plenty of copies of us, and it's a all-time favorite.
Yeah.
If you do not have this on your shelf to get people into, I recommend getting it out and getting it for this Christmas season. With our sale going on, it's a great value. So
Yeah, for the new and the hardcore, King of Tokyo is a home run. It's
Oh, yeah.
such a good game.
I haven't got a chance to play this. This is one of the top 10 family games of last year, and
Okay.
it's already ranked in the top 5 of this year.
Oh, I see the Spiel.
Yeah, it's
the
got
Jarvis
the
award
well,
there.
yeah, it's got the it's got that's the not
Oh no,
the
that's
Jarvis.
the Seal of Excellence. Sorry, wrong
Yeah,
dice
it's
tower.
it's the board dice tower seal of
The
excellence.
Spiel one is red. Isn't
It's
it?
a real simple family game. Plays in 30 to 60 minutes. You're choosing pieces. You're creating cotels or whatever. I don't know what that
Coddle,
means.
I think?
Coddles, yeah. Then you're completing your prophecy cards to get extra points.
Oh,
It's
man, those
real
game
simple.
pieces look gorgeous. Flip
They're
that around so they can see that.
super gorgeous game pieces. It's won so many family awards that I just threw it out there
And
because
this one's competitive.
yes, it's
Okay.
competitive. I threw it out there because not a lot of places carry it. We carry it, and it just gives families a different option to the norm to really mix it up for their family game time. So this is all the family. Well, no, I've still got more family games.
Yeah.
We're not even done with family games. If you like cats, you like quilts, we've got Calico. I'm just going to tell you, AEG is putting out everything they put out right now is just a home run. They revamped their company. This is by AEG. They only put out home runs now. They put out 10% of the games they were putting out a few years ago. So if you're skeptical because a few years ago AEG was terrible, no. They're
I
all
was
home
a fan
runs.
a few years ago when they put out Epic PvP.
Yeah,
so-
but well, now they've got Point Salad, they've got this, they've got Tiny Towns. Oh my God, they're just putting out so many good family games. They're midweight strategy games. This is great for the family. You're basically a cat building a quilt, or a cat quilt for your cat to lay on.
Oh my goodness.
So if you like cats,
Is
you
there-
like quilts.
Is
this
there a
is-
mechanic where the cat has a preference of what kind of quilt they want?
There's some way of scoring it out. I can't remember. Yes, there's the little cat in the
You
middle.
have to cater to the cat's
Yeah.
preferences. I love it.
Yeah.
Kind of
So-
reminds me of Wingspan.
It
where-
kind of hits home because my grandma always made us a quilt for Christmas, and she's no
Well, there you
longer
go.
here with us. So
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
yeah. So anyway, we've got our last family game that I'm going to cover is trekking the national parks. If you've ever played Ticket to Ride, it's a very similar play style to Ticket to Ride with the set collecting. However, it's got all the national parks, and I don't know if I can get it close enough. Here's one of the national park.
I don't think
Cards?
the camera's doing it justice.
Yeah, I
this
don't-
artwork is gorgeous.
It's super gorgeous. Great gameplay because it's like Ticket to Ride. It has these national parks, and you learn about all these cool national parks. You get the
Oh, so it's an educational opportunity.
it's an educational but fun opportunity because they learn about the national parks. My kids wanted to go visit like
Oh,
three or
I see.
four of
It's
the
got
national parks.
a Mensa award here on the
Yeah, a
front.
Mensa Award I think is the hardest one to get. It does have that. This company has done wonderful things. If you have not tried this, trekking the national park, you're a big Ticket to Ride fan or family game thing, or if you just want to get the kids interested in going outdoors and doing something fun for like a vacation.
Little bit of a long game time.
Yeah,
so this
so-
one you're sitting down for 30 to 60 minutes. So you probably want a little bit older kids, maybe middle school
So-
range again.
I don't know. My 5-year-old will play it.
Oh,
Or,
well,
when he was 5, now he's what 9,
Sure.
7. He's older.
I know when Whitman was 5, him sitting down for an hour was not always a reliable thing.
Oh, I lied. Another family thing. I played this at Thanksgiving
Is this
2
just
years
dominoes?
ago. No, this is the Domino's Mexican train.
Oh, I see
where
there's trains. Okay.
you're moving trains around and you're having you have to match dice to get your train to move. And it's really good for families. You can get, I can't remember how many people you can get. I played this at, I don't know, Thanksgiving a few years back. I didn't know anything about this. This is an older Domino's game. It's fantastic. So maybe you're like the Domino's.
How many? What do we think the playtime is on it?
Probably about 30 minutes. It goes 2+ players. So I don't.
Are we gonna claim
1,
you can
2,
go up
3,
to
4,
100,
5,
like,
6, 7. You can go up to 8.
8. Okay.
Okay. It says you can go up to 8 because the little board has 8. So it is a fantastic little family game. It comes with all the dominoes. It comes in a nice little hard case.
That might not be one you want to fly with, though. That case looks a little suspicious.
Well, that and it's heavy.
Yeah.
Ends up eating. I don't know how you're gonna bring the turkey home with it. So put that back here where it belongs because it's right there.
So at this point, we've moved through family-friendly games. We moved through games that have a little bit more of a competitive edge, like if you have a hardcore gamer, but you still want accessibility for the family. And now we're going to move into if you're having a Friendsgiving and you're all hardcore gamers, or if your family is full of people who are hardcore gamers, these are the types of games that
I wouldn't necessarily hardcore, but at least gamers.
Yeah. People who've got some games under their belt.
So we just learned how to play this in our last Patreon night. So we have a Patreon, and we do a special board gaming night once a month for our Patreons. Plus they get discounts and everything else. So if you want to visit our Facebook or whatever and see our Patreon, you can definitely do that. But Korra, Yellow again picked this up, and it was designed and out a few years back by a Japanese board gaming group. They designed it and kickstarted and sold like 10,000 copies. Yellow picked up the IP this year, redid the rulebook and some of the pieces. This is just a fabulously put together. It's mid to heavy strategy. It's not too heavy, but it's not too light. It really just hits all those little pieces. Everybody I've sold it to actually enjoys it. Everybody I've demoed it to that are gamers absolutely loves it. It comes in with a built-in organizer tray for us gamers.
Oh, that's nice.
Super, super important. Each civilization plays out differently, so you'll have to do a different winning strategy based on the civilization.
This just came out at Gen Con this year, right?
It came out at Gen Con. They're already sold out in the United States. I've got the last of my stock that's going to have to carry me through until hopefully they do a reprint or figure out their distribution. So
well, and like any ILO game, the level of polish is just off the charts.
It is.
ILO doesn't put a game out that isn't absolutely gorgeous.
This thing is just so amazing. It's got about a 75-minute play time. I would put it up there just below like Brass Birmingham in complexity.
So this would also fall into the bucket. Maybe it's not something you get specifically to play at the holidays, but this would make a great gift for that nephew, uncle that you know is a hardcore gamer and maybe has a regular group. This would be the kind of thing that you could maybe put under the tree for somebody like that.
Yep.
And this one is something somebody could put under the tree for me because I love this game.
If you're a big fan of Mr. Ben, this game is phenomenal. It's Czech games. I would say it's a little bit more complex than the game we just had. I just ordered all the expansions that are coming out for it, the leaders packs. This game it's got a lot going on.
Yes.
I'm not going to try to describe it on camera. It's fabulously done with a worker placement, resource management, tableau type building, deck building. It's got almost every little mechanic that you can think of.
It's a combination of a lot of different game types.
But it doesn't do them all.
The core mechanic, I think, is currency exchange.
Yeah.
You're exploring and you're learning about these ruins and this ancient civilization, and then you're taking those little bits of knowledge in the form of gorgeous little tablets and arrowheads and rubies, and you're exchanging them to move up a research track while also deck building. There's a lot going on in this one.
I'm on like my 4th playthrough. I am not at my tapestry level of this game.
I'm not. I lose most of the games I play, but I love it.
But I feel like once I get it mastered, my point score is going to double, if not triple. So it's just a lot of little things going on. It's a great game for a gamer out there.
Yeah.
It sells out constantly. We were able to get some in for the holidays. We got that 15% off sale. This is a great time to pick this up. It is a phenomenal game.
If you like Indiana Jones and you like heavy mid-range board games, this is a bullseye.
I'm gonna go to one of my all-time favorites.
All right.
Great Western Trail just had a second edition reprint. They fixed up some rules. They added a single player variant.
Oh, the meeples are adorable.
They added some cowboy hats to the meeples. You can't really go wrong. They added some extra cows to fix it up so that you could do everything in the game to try to win, different strategies, actually win. They fixed up a lot of things. This is one of the greatest, heavier games that I've ever had. It's not for the light gamer. I'm not going to...
How long is it playthrough?
Probably your first time, 2 hours.
Okay.
Next time, you can probably get it to 45 minutes to an hour and a half on average. If everybody knows what they're... Yeah,
sure.
Something they're doing. The first time you played through this game, it's one of those games. It's like, do I really like this game? Next time it gets better. Next time it gets better. It just takes time to understand everything that's going on. It's
with
so
this
good.
second edition, if somebody played first edition, is there new stuff in it?
Yeah, there's some new cows.
So there's new mechanics as well as a level of polish to the production.
And then they've got some of the expansion components that were in the expansion to the original one in it. So
if you have edition 1 at home, there's still something here for you.
Everybody that has edition 1 at home has been selling their first edition on our used game rack to get their second edition. So I'm thinking about doing the same. So this is one of my all-time favorites. I don't think it's going to ever get knocked out of my top 10. It's a heavier game, though. So
yeah,
you got to have the gamer in the family. If the gamer needs it. Here's a mid-weight one that I thought would bring it out. It's called Everdale. You can see all the awards it's won.
Covers half the box.
It covers half the box. It is a tableau building game. So you're just building your tableau. You're comboing off on different things. If you're a gamer that loves combos, this is the game. This is a little bit lighter than Terraforming Mars, but it has lots of cutesy things going on. So it's easier to get like my wife into it or somebody that really doesn't always play like the Terraforming Mars theme. And it's just...
The core gimmick of this tree, again, the image on the box doesn't really do it justice, but when you see the Everdale tree on the board, it looks gorgeous. You can almost hear the woodland creatures in the background. Like it's a very excellent production value.
And you can't see the cards either. Every card is just amazing.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to do. They've got so many expansions for this. The only one that I really recommend is the one that adds player abilities and the extra people, though. So.
Well, and if you're into a heavier game, like so many of the heavier games have war themes, have kind of violent themes. And if what you want is a game that has some of the heavier game mechanics, but still is kind of peaceful and chill, Everdale is definitely a bullseye for that, in my opinion.
Yep, and then I'm going to come to Villainous. I had to grab an asymmetric game out here. What I mean by asymmetric is everybody is playing their own villain. This one is the Marvel villains. You can play as just the Disney villains. I have both versions here at the store. But the Marvel villains are here. You're playing your own villain. So that you have either Thanos, Hela, Ultron, and you got your own deck. And you can interact with the other villains a little bit. But it's just you playing your own villain, trying to do it better and faster than the other people playing at the table.
So it's kind of like a race, more than a competition, kind of.
So if you really got good at Thanos, but then the next time you played Hela, you might not be good at Hela because you don't understand her deck or how she wins. Each one has a different way to win. Each one has a different mechanics. It's a really great, just asymmetric game.
Once somebody wins, does that end the game, or is that player eliminated? Okay,
it just ends the game.
I like that.
I've never played. Yeah, it just ends the game. That we got a winner. We start over. Maybe reshuffle the villains.
Player elimination can be kind of a drag.
There's some villains that are easy to play. Some villains that are harder to play. It's kind of like Dice Throne, where you've got the easy characters to play.
I know a thing or two about Dice Throne.
You know a thing or two about Dice. But then you've got the harder strategy characters to play.
Sure.
So you got that going on.
Well, and sometimes in these types of games, it's not even that one character is harder or more powerful. It's just that it resonates with the sorts of things you want to do. Like I'm a player that likes to draw a lot of cards. My son is a player who likes to do big smashy damage. And where he plays the Barbarian in Dice Throne, that's not my favorite character, but Wit really enjoys it. And I don't think that's a comment on the overall value of that character. It's just we have personal preferences. So the asymmetrical games where you're not all doing the same thing really gives people the ability to kind of be themselves while they're playing.
Yes, it does. It's interesting. It's a different type of play style. I highly recommend it.
Well, and that's the kind of thing that, again, is maybe for a little bit more of an advanced board game person, because somebody who's just, if your background is you played Monopoly and Clue as a kid, you might not know what you like yet.
Yeah.
So a game like Villainous might not hit the bullseye for you, whereas some of these easier games where everybody kind of does the same thing would be a little bit more where you're at.
If that last stack, if you only played Clue Risk and some of the things as a kid, move back to the family friendly or
we started off with stuff for you.
We started off with stuff. Rewind the video. Go back to that. Maybe you don't get to go out. You got something going on. I do got a couple 2-player games. Fox in the Forest. It's by Renegade. I have a few copies left. This thing just sells so well. It is basically 2-player euchre in a box. I don't know, or 500, or hearts, or spades, whatever you play around the country. Fox in the Forest is just so wonderfully put together. It's got just a great vibe. It's a trick-taking game. There is one called Fox in the Forest Duet if you want to play cooperatively against the board. But this is the competitive one because I am a competitive player. And then my all-time favorite for 2-player games right now is Seven Wonders Duels, because the other Seven Wonders I showed you, 3+ players. I recommend 4+ players. Duels is just for that second person. This is just a great adaptation of this for 2 players. I do not know what to say. This has won so many awards for a 2-player game.
Basically the same game, just now you can play it with 2.
Yeah, just you can play with 2. So that's really good. And then I'm going to shamelessly plug, because I got your attention, Marvel Crisis Protocol. We've got a new league starting up. If you're looking to play, it's a slow grow league. There's like $190 of value in this $100 box worth of miniatures.
And it's 15% off right now.
And it's 15% off. So it's
unless
even
you're
more
a
value.
patron, and then it's 25% off.
Patreon at the top 2 tier levels get 25% off, and a lot of other benefits through the year.
Absolutely.
Mr. Bennett here is a Patreon.
I'm a firm believer in supporting my local store.
And I think he gets his benefits out of it with his game nights and stuff like that.
Yeah, this is my third place. I've got home, I got work, and this is my third place.
So this is starting up on December 6th. I would have to say these are the best for a minis war game out there. Detail of miniatures. I don't know if this camera is even going to do
not going to do it justice.
just yeah. I mean, I'm going to shout out to Too Tough Doug who painted these for me.
I saw people playing this when I was here at the patron game
he's another creator.
On Saturday, and both my son and I were absolutely gobsmacked. Like my jaw was on the floor with how awesome these miniatures look, and the play space that you guys set up, like the city with the big donut thing.
Well, and this thing comes with the city and stuff in it.
Gorgeous.
It comes with the cars you can throw. I mean, if you like Marvel, you like 40K, Star Wars Legion, Warhammer. This is just a better version of all that stuff. Well, I don't know if it's better than Legion, but it's right up there. It's better than 40K in my opinion.
This is the heaviest game we've looked at today.
Oh, this is by far the heaviest game, but we do have a slow grow league, which means you buy the battle box, you get your stuff put together. Because it doesn't come assembled, you're going to have to get some glue.
What kind of a time commitment is that to put the box together?
Person like me, most of the day.
Yeah. Okay.
Person like the guys that normally play, I don't know, an hour.
Descent took me an hour to set up. All the hardware things.
I would probably say if it took you an hour, probably 4 hours on this.
Okay.
So,
and then how long would a typical game, like if your first game is going to be a little longer, of course.
Well, the guy that's running the league came in to do a demo, and the guys didn't show up, so I played him on Monday. But I kind of know how. It took us 3 rounds before I totally destroyed him, and he blamed it on the dice. I'm just gonna throw that out there. But
so a normal dice game. I got it.
Yeah, normal game would probably be an hour and a half.
Okay.
I would have to say it's an hour and a half.
And that's actual playtime, or does that include
actual playtime? Well, probably
up?
about 10 minutes of setup in there.
Okay, so that's not that bad
No.
as far as a heavier like combat game.
Yeah.
You know, you come out and you set up all your spaceships for what is it, Armada or whatever
Legion.
it's called. Legion, yeah, and that can just the setup can
It's
take
25 minutes. Yeah. So yeah, it's a little bit simpler. We do Legion. We're going to do skirmishes of Legion if you're interested, but that the skirmish league will start shortly after this league does. But Marvel Crisis Protocol, these miniatures are just amazing. They're light years above the Star Wars Legion miniatures because we play a lot of Legion here.
Mm-hmm.
Millions of years, in my opinion, above like 40K or War Machine. I would say the next closest is Infinity, a game that we don't play around here, but they're just above that even. The detail on these. I think Star-Lord, for example, you see how little their heads are?
Mm-hmm.
His head's 4 pieces. So you got to put that together.
That's a lot of pieces.
So you got to 4 little pieces. I don't know how they put it together. Everybody assembles my stuff for me because they know I won't play unless they assemble it. So.
Well, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to
Why?
like walk us through all these games that are both things that you could play with your family or excellent gifts for that hardcore gamer that you have in your circle. Is there anything else you wanted to add here? Any last shout outs, any plugs or promotions you want to throw out?
We do have that sale going on, 15% off store-wide through Sunday after Thanksgiving. So I don't know the dates, so we'll just say Sunday after Thanksgiving. And then we'll probably start another sale after that, but it's not going to be as good as this 15% off. Or if you're in the top 2 tier levels of our Patreon, it's 25% off. So
this
it's
is
a heck
the
of a
time
deal.
to do that Christmas shopping.
Yeah, we did it so that maybe I could get a restock, but it's not looking good for any kind of restock whatsoever coming into the Christmas season. The freight situation is hit hard. I just at Target the other day looking for Legos for my children, and there was less than a shelf of Legos left, and they have no plans on restocking this year.
So this year more than...
And unfortunately, right there, the rest of our footage was eaten by digital gremlins. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but on the fortunate side, we had covered all the specific games and topics that we wanted to hit for the show. There were just a couple things I wanted to add. If you are interested in the Crisis Protocol League that Jason mentioned at the end of the video, that is only available at the North Liberty location. Currently, the Williamsburg location of Geek City is packed to the gills with toys and other things that y'all can come out and pick up for this holiday season. And really, that's it. So from all of us here at the Build Phase to all of you out there, we hope you and yours have the happiest of holidays, whatever type of celebration that may be. Go win some games.